No alarm clock, no coffee. Your day begins with the sun and a simple, brutal goal. Don't die. This isn't a world of schedules and deadlines. It's a world of survival, painted in the stark colors of dawn and dusk. For you, for a young hunter named Kael, the first sensation is the cold. A deep, biting cold that seeps up from the stone floor of the cave through the layers of animal hide you call a bed. It's a constant companion, a reminder that warmth is a precious, fleeting commodity. Before your eyes are fully open, your ears are listening. Listening for the soft crackle of embers, the rhythmic breathing of your family, your tribe, sleeping around you. The absence of a different sound, the guttural roar of a predator, or the panicked cry of a guard is the first small victory of the day. You rise silently, a shadow among shadows. Your first duty is not to yourself, but to the heart of your people, the fire. It has dwindled overnight to a glowing orange core, a fragile pulse in the cavern's immense darkness. To let it die would be a death sentence. Carefully you feed it dried moss and small twigs, coaxing it, whispering to it with your breath until a small flame licks upward, greedy and alive. As the light grows, it pushes back the oppressive dark, revealing the familiar contours of your home. The stone walls are adorned with the ghosts of ancient hunts, painted in charcoal and ochre, mammoths, bison, and strange lean deer. These aren't just decorations, they are stories, lessons, and prayers. Slowly the rest of the clan begins to stir. The old shaman, Tarak, with eyes that seem to hold the memory of 1,000 seasons, nods at you in approval. The women, led by the stoic Mara, begin to organize their bags of hide for the day's gathering. The children, still half asleep, cling to their mothers. There's no morning rush, only a quiet, purposeful efficiency. The air is thick with the smell of smoke, damp earth, and sleeping bodies. A handful of dried berries and a strip of smoked meat from last week's kill serve as breakfast, a meager fuel for the monumental task ahead. Today is a hunting day. Tarak found the tracks yesterday evening, tracks that made his old eyes gleam with a mixture of fear and hope. A small herd of mammoths moving south through the valley. A walking feast. A mountain of meat, fat, and ivory that could see the tribe through the next moon cycle. The hunting party gathers at the mouth of the cave as the sun crests the frozen peaks. There are 6 of you, including Kael. You are armed with what you have made, long wooden spears tipped with razor-sharp flint points, a testament to hours of patient, skilled work. You check your spear tip, running a thumb carefully along its edge. Your life depends on its perfection. Tarak gives the signal, a low grunt that speaks volumes, and you set out. The world outside the cave is vast, empty, and beautiful in its harshness. The wind cuts like a knife across the frozen steppe. You move not in a line, but spread out, a net of eyes and ears constantly scanning the horizon, the tree line, the sky. Every rock could hide a threat. Every gust of wind could carry the scent of danger. Communication is sparse, a language of hand signals and subtle gestures. A raised fist means stop. A finger pointed to the ground means a track. This is a silent ballet of survival, choreographed by generations of experience. As the hunters move toward the valley, Mara leads the women and older children in the opposite direction, towards the sparse woodlands at the edge of the plains. Theirs is a different kind of hunt. They are searching for edible roots, winter berries that cling stubbornly to their bushes, and perhaps small game caught in the snares they set yesterday. Their knowledge is as vital as any hunter's skill. They know which plants heal and which kill, where to find water beneath the frozen ground, and how to read the smaller, more subtle signs of the earth. Their contribution is the bedrock of the tribe's diet, the daily sustenance that fills the gaps between the great, glorious hunts. Back with Kael, the tension mounts. You find the mammoth tracks, enormous depressions in the hard earth, and begin to follow. Each step is deliberate. You are no longer just men, you are predators now. Tapping into an ancient instinct, you move with a purpose that erases the cold and the gnawing hunger in your belly. After hours of tracking, you see them. A shaggy brown herd on the horizon, moving with a slow, ponderous grace. Your heart hammers against your ribs. They are magnificent, terrifying, and your only real hope. Tarok signals for the party to halt, to drop low into the tall, yellowed grass. The plan must be perfect. The wind must be right. One mistake, one scent carried on the breeze, and the walking feast will become a stampeding avalanche of death. The wait begins.
The sun climbs higher, a pale, indifferent eye in the vast blue sky. The waiting is a form of hunting in itself. It's a battle against impatience, against the cold that stiffens your joints, against the doubt that whispers in your mind. From your hiding spot in the long grass, you watch the mammoths. Tarok's plan is simple in concept, but incredibly difficult in execution. You will not attack the massive bull that leads the herd, nor the protective females that surround the young. Your target is a younger male, one that seems to wander a little too far from the safety of the group, a sign of youthful arrogance. That is your opening. The signal is given, a low bird call from Tarok that cuts through the wind. The group splits. Two hunters circle wide to the east, their movements slow and deliberate, while you and the others begin a painstaking crawl forward. The goal is to create a pincer, to subtly guide your target away from the others without alarming the entire herd. Every rustle of grass, every dislodged stone is a potential disaster. As the morning bleeds into midday, the slow, tense advance continues. The sun offers little warmth, and the break from the hunt is brief and functional. You find a sheltered spot behind a rock outcropping. This is not a time for rest, but for preparation. You pull a piece of flint and a hammerstone from the leather pouch at your side. The tip of your spear took a small chip when you stumbled earlier. A minor imperfection, but a minor imperfection can mean the difference between a clean strike and a deflected blow. This is the ritual of midday, tool maintenance. The art of flint knapping is one of the first and most important technologies of your people. It's a language of angles and force. You hold the flint core in one hand, feeling its weight, its potential. With a hammerstone, you strike the edge at a precise angle, not a brute force smash, but a sharp, controlled impact. A flake of flint, sharp as surgical steel, breaks away. You do it again and again, sculpting the rock, turning a lifeless stone into an extension of your will, an instrument of death and survival. Around you, the other hunters do the same, the rhythmic tick-tick-tick of stone on stone, the only sound in the vast emptiness. You are not just repairing weapons, you are reaffirming your advantage over this world. You cannot outrun the bear or outfight the Simladon, but you can outthink them. This sharp edge in your hand is the physical manifestation of human ingenuity. Once the spear is repaired, its point once again perfect, you eat. A few mouthfuls of pounded nuts and dried meat. There is no conversation, only the shared understanding of the task still to come. But the world of the Stone Age is never predictable. Danger does not wait for you to be ready. It starts with a subtle shift in the environment. The birds that were chirping in the distance fall silent. A primal alarm bell rings in the back of your mind, a feeling older than thought. You scan the tall grass, your hand tightening on the shaft of your spear. Tarok has sensed a cue. His eyes are narrowed, his body coiled like a spring. And then you see it. A flicker of movement, a ripple in the sea of grass that is not caused by the wind. Something low to the ground, moving with a terrifying fluid grace. A Cybladon. It hasn't seen you. It's stalking a lone, old bison that has wandered away from its herd.
but it's between you and your path back to the cave. Chaos erupts. The bison, finally sensing the predator, lets out a panicked bellow and bolts. The Cyblodon explodes from its cover, a 400-pound blur of spotted fury. It's faster than you could have imagined. In 2 powerful leaps, it's on the bison's back, its massive forelimbs and claws digging in, wrestling the much larger animal to the ground. You are frozen for a heartbeat, a spectator to a scene of brutal natural violence. But Turok is already moving, hissing a command. Fire! He knows that a fed Cyblodon is a less immediate threat, but one that is cornered or surprised is a death sentence. While the cat is occupied, its powerful jaws working to deliver the killing bite to the bison's throat, 2 of your group frantically work with their fire-starting kits. A wooden drill, a fireboard, and a bundle of dry tinder. It's a desperate race against time. The Cyblodon, having finished its kill, raises its blood-soaked head and finally sees you. It lets out a low, guttural growl that vibrates in your chest. It sees you not as a threat, but as competition for its prize. It takes a step towards you, its massive saber teeth gleaming. Just then, a wisp of smoke rises, then a small flame. One of the hunters thrusts a branch into the fledgling fire. It catches, and he brandishes the burning torch, a fragile shield of light and heat. The Cyblodon hesitates. It is an apex predator, but fire is an alien force, something it instinctively fears. It snarls, torn between its kill and the strange, flickering danger. Turok seizes the moment. He lets out a fierce war cry, and together you all shout, banging your spears against the ground, brandishing the torch. You present a united, noisy, and confusing front. For a long, tense moment, the Cyblodon holds its ground, a cornered god of death. Then, with a final, frustrated roar, it relinquishes its kill and melts back into the tall grass, disappearing as suddenly as it appeared. A collective sigh of relief escapes the hunting party. You are shaking, not from the cold, but from the adrenaline. You have survived, but the cost is clear. The mammoth hunt is over for today. The opportunity is lost. You are weary, your nerves are frayed, and the afternoon is fading. You begin the long walk back to the cave, your prize not the mountain of meat you had hoped for, but the simple, profound fact that you are still alive.
The journey back to the cave is somber. The elation of surviving the Smilodon encounter is replaced by a weary reality. The hunt failed. Tonight, the tribe will eat from its dwindling reserves. Failure in your world isn't a minor setback, it's a direct threat to existence. As the sun begins its descent, painting the sky in fiery shades of orange and purple, the entrance to your cave comes into view. A thin plume of smoke rises into the cold air, a beacon of home. The sight of it, the promise of safety and warmth, eases some of the ache in your bones. The women and children are already back from their gathering. Their baskets are not full, but they are not empty either. They have found tough winter roots, a handful of sour berries, and 2 rabbits caught in snares. It's not a feast, but it is food. It is enough. A profound sense of relief washes over you as you step from the wild world into the sanctuary of the cave. The fire, now a roaring blaze, is the center of this universe. The entire clan, some 30 individuals, gathers around it. The hunters recount the day's events, the tracking of the mammoths, the agonizing wait, and the terrifying confrontation with the saber-toothed cat. There is no shame in their failure, only a shared understanding of the world's harshness. The food is prepared and shared equally. Everyone gets a portion of the roasted rabbit and the baked roots. This is the fundamental rule of the tribe. You share everything, the triumphs and the hardships. To eat is a communal act, a reaffirmation of your bond. As you chew the tough, smoky meat, you feel the strength returning to your limbs. Here, surrounded by your people, the fears of the day begin to recede. After the meal, the day's final ritual begins. Turok, the old shaman, stands before the cave wall.
He takes a piece of charcoal from the fire, and in the flickering, dancing light, he begins to draw. The firelight animates the older paintings, making the great beasts seem to breathe and move in the shadows. Tonight, Tarek adds a new figure to the wall, a sleek, powerful cat with impossibly long teeth. He doesn't just draw an animal, he captures its spirit, its ferocity. As he draws, he chants a low, rhythmic story. It's the story of your encounter today, woven into the larger tapestry of the tribe's history. This is how you remember. This is how you learn. This is how you pass knowledge to the next generation. The children watch, their eyes wide with awe. They're learning about the dangers that await them, but they are also learning about courage, strategy, and the power of working together. The story ends, and a sense of peace settles over the cave. One by one, families retreat to their sleeping hides. But the night is not a time for complete rest. The darkness outside is not empty. It belongs to the hunters of the night, the dire wolves, the cave lions, the things that watch from the shadows. The guard duty is shared. Tonight, it is your turn. You take your spear and position yourself at the mouth of the cave, just outside the main circle of light. Your back is towards the warmth and safety of your family. Your face is towards the immense, cold, and dangerous dark. You stare out into the night, your senses on high alert. The wind whispers through the rocks, carrying strange sounds. Every snap of a twig, every distant howl sends a shiver down your spine. But you are not just afraid. As you look up at the sky, a brilliant, breathtaking blanket of stars, unspoiled by any modern light, you feel something else. A sense of belonging. A sense of purpose. Your life is a thread in the fabric of this tribe. Your survival is their survival. Your day was a brutal struggle, a constant fight against hunger, cold, and death. It was short on comfort and long on hardship, but it was not without meaning. It was a life lived with an intensity we can barely comprehend, a life of profound connection to the earth, to the community, and to the raw, unfiltered experience of being human. Here, on the edge of the world, you are alive. And for now, that is everything. How long do you think you could survive in this era? How long would you last in Kael's world? Let us know in the comments below.